Now let's create a pivot table, which is one of the most useful tools in Excel for summarizing large data sets. We'll use the sales transactions database for this example. I'll click anywhere inside the data table, go to Insert, then choose Pivot Table, and I'll place it in a new worksheet. Now in the Pivot Table field, I'm going to drag Region to the rows area, then Product to the columns area, and Amount to the values. And then immediately you can see that Excel has created a summary table. Now this is powerful because I did not need to write any formulas, and without much effort I can now answer questions like which region generates the most amount, which products perform best, and how product performance varies across different regions. Now I'll change the summary from total revenue or total amount to count. So in the values area, I'm going to click on the drop-down menu and then I'm going to switch from sum to count. Now click OK, and you can see that the total is now the count. Now the pivot table is no longer showing the total dollars, it's showing the number of transactions. This is useful when we care about frequency, not just total value. Now I'm going to change the pivot table to show percentages instead of raw totals. I'll open the value settings again. You can also choose field settings to do the same. And then under show data as, I'm going to do percentage of grand total. And I'm going to click OK. And now it shows the amount of book and DVD sales as percentage of the total. So we can see that about 55% of the sales was coming from books and the rest was coming from DVDs. Now here I can see the contribution rather than just level. So now I can see which of the items contributed more or less to the whole. Now let's try to add another layer by using a filter. I'm going to drag payment into the filters area. And now I can view the pivot table for only one payment type. Let's select credit. And now we can see just the percentage of book versus DVD sales coming from credit card payments. And so this allows me to add this third dimension to the analysis without rebuilding the entire table. Now let's try adding a slicer, which makes the pivot table more interactive. Again, I'll click inside the pivot table, choose Pivot Table Analyze if it's not automatically selected, and then select Insert Slicer. Now I can click a button here. Let's try Source. And then if we click one of the buttons, email or web, let's try email, then it just shows us the pivot table results reflecting just the records corresponding to the source, books or DVDs, through email.